Hello my dear student, welcome to this GUI component task. This is your week 14 homework, Java homework. In this homework, we will see how to create various components in Java GUI programming. So let's begin with the coding part. I have already created one project name which is GUI component task, as you can see here. Now we need to create a class file. So let's right click, give a new Java class, give a name to your class file. Let's say GUI component project. You can choose any name, hit enter. So that's my class over here, and now we have to write the entry point. So let's write the entry point for it, which is main function. Okay, and then we need to write the constructor. So let's write that public GUI component project. This is the constructor of this program. As you can see, this special function has the name same as the name of class and have no return type. So this is a constructor. Now what do we want to do? We are going to have many buttons, so you can use a class JButton. Now JButton is a class which comes from javax.swing package. So you are using this class, and now you have to declare many variables of this class like JB1, JB2, JB3, JB4, JB5, JB6, JB7, JB8, JB9, JB10 and JB11. So this is a class and these are the variables of this class, right? Like if you remember, you have done string name, yes or no? So name is a variable and string is a class. Okay, now I'm not using string over here. I want to use JButton. So these are all variables which I have declared for this button, JButton. Okay, now what we have to do is, in the constructor, first we need to create one frame. So Java frame, that is JFrame, JF1 is equal to new JFrame. Okay, you can give a title over here like welcome to GUI world, or whatever you want to display. That's your choice. Okay, next thing is we need to create buttons. Okay, we have to create many buttons. Now how to create button? So first button is JB1, as you can see here, is equal to new JButton. Okay, and you can also give some text on this. Okay, so first I'm going to show you an example of label. So I will give JLabel class. This helps to create JLabel, helps to show label. Okay, put semicolon here. On the next line you need to tell where do you want to display this button. Okay, so you can say set bound, and let's say I want to display at 100x, and the y position is 15, comma, what should be the width of this button? 600. And what should be the height of this button? Let's say 40. Okay, so this is the location and the width and the height of this button. Now we have to set the background color of it. Okay, so JB1 dot set background You can see here, and you can choose any color, like I'm going to use orange over here. Okay, on the next line you need to decide the font. Okay, what is the font of this button? How do you want to display the text of this button? So you can say jb1 dot, there is a function called set font. You can see that set font, which takes an object of a class font. Okay, so this function takes one parameter, which is an object of font class. So how we can pass the object? You have to create an object of font f1 is equal to new font. Okay, new font, and then you have to give all the information, like what should be the font family, serif, font dot serif, comma, how do you want to display the font? So font dot italic. Okay, italic, you can see you can use bold, italic. Okay, and there are so many, you can choose any one of them, but I'm interested in italic. Okay, comma, then what should be the size of the font? So you can decide the size. Let's say the size will be 20. That will be the size of the font. Okay, then you have to set the font to jb1 by using this function. Do you understand this code, right? What next we have to do? Next we have to uh, add this button to our JFrame. Okay, so let's add this button to JFrame. What is my JFrame? jf1 dot add, and then you have to add this jb1. Am I clear with this? Okay, great. On the next line you have to set the layout, jb1 dot set layout. Okay, as I told you, we will keep null because I still have to teach you what is layout. So don't worry about it. Just keep in mind that we have to set the layout to null at this moment. Then we have to set the color of the frame. I cannot set the color to the frame directly. Okay, what we have to do is we have to get a paper, that is content pane dot set background, and then you can choose the background color of your JFrame. So let's choose color dot, let's choose some another color dot red. Okay, on the next line you have to set the size of your JFrame. There is a function called set size. The JFrame size, I'm going to take width 800 comma height 1020. Okay, it is your choice what will be the width and the height of your JFrame. You can decide that by yourself. On the next line we have to say jf1 dot set visible to true, make it true and make it visible to the user. Okay, that's one button, and I have added to my frame, and we have shown the frame, this frame jf1 over here. Now it's a time to run the program. So how to run the program? You can say GUI component. Okay, GP is equal to, we have to create the object GUI component. Okay, great. Let's run this program to see the output, and then we will continue with our next button. We have to create many buttons. Can you see that over here, right? So it is building, and here you go. So you can see the title of the frame, welcome to GUI world. This is my button. Okay, now you can see, let me show you. You can see over here, this is the text I'm displaying, JLabel class. This helps to show label. Okay, bound, I start at the X position is 100. So this is my X position 100. Y position is 15. This is my Y position 15. Width from here to here is 600. Height from here to here is 40. Okay, then the background color is orange, as you can see, and my text font is different. You can see here font, it's italic. Yes or no? The size of the text is 20. You can change this if you want. And if you want to make it bold, you can use something called bold. 1 minute please. Okay, bold here. So let us run this program one more time. Right click, run, stop and run. So now you can see it's bold. Okay, this is how you can make it bold color here. Okay, I think the bold looks better, so I'm going to keep this one now. Okay, all right, so this is very important line here. You have to say what font you want for JB1. So there is a function called set font, and this is my font F1 which I'm setting over here. All right, let's continue with the next buttons, because we have to create all these buttons over here, right? So let's do that. Now to create the other buttons, I'm going to copy paste a lot of things. Okay, so I will just copy this code from here and paste it below. What next we have to do? We have to change this variable to JB2, JB2, JB2. Okay, this we don't have to create again and again, because one time is enough. So you can just delete that line, and yeah, here, hey, I'm making mistake. It should be JB2, JB2 and JB2, right? So because I'm creating my second button, and we also have to change this text. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you an example of radio button. So JRadio button class, this helps to show radio button. Radio button. Okay, then you have to decide the X and the Y position. The X position will remain the same. Yes or no? Yes. Y position have to be changed. So I'm going to change to 85, and the width and the height will remain same, right? So let's run this one more time to see the output. Right click, stop and run, and you will see a new button. Hey, okay, yeah, that's right. I didn't add my JB2 to the frame. Yes or no? Yes. So we need to add it to the frame. So JB1 dot add, and then you can say JB2. This is my variable. Okay, let's run this program and let's see. We must see two buttons now. So there you can see I'm getting my second button here. This is X position, so it will remain same for all my buttons here. The Y position must keep changing. This is 15. Okay, this is 85. So I have added 70 to my previous value. So here we have 15 plus 70 is 85. Then we have to do plus 70. Whatever will come, we will add that button here. Am I clear with this part? Right, I hope so. So let's continue, and I'm going to be a little quick now. So I will copy my code one more time and paste it below here. Let's modify this to JB3, 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 JB3. Okay, everything is going to remain same, but here I'm going to add, my Y has to be changed. So 155, because I will add 70 to my previous Y value. Okay, and what we have to do, I need to change this. I'm going to show you an example of JTextArea. Okay, so JTextArea, this helps to show text area. So here you can say text area. Okay, great. That's my button number 3. Now I will add more buttons. So I have already copied. So let's paste it over here. Modify this to JB4, 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 and JB4. Okay, everything is going to remain same here. My previous value is 155 plus 70. Okay, plus 70, how much will be that? 225. and I'm also going to change my class. I'm going to show you an example of option pane. Okay, this helps to show dialog boxes. Dialog box. Okay, next I'm going to paste my code again to write the code for JB5, 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 JB5. Okay, now we need all is going to remain same. Here I have to add 70. So how much will be that? Tell me. 295, right? So 295. Let me do that. 295. Okay, great. And I'm going to show you here an example of JTable class. So this helps to show table. You can write that table. Okay, I will continue add. Okay, and then I'm going to add the code for JB6. Okay, here JB6, 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 JB6. And what next? You need to modify the Y position. So 295 plus 70, that is 365. Okay, and you need to, here I'm going to show you an example of color chooser class. Okay, this helps to show color chooser. Okay, great. That's all. Everything is going to remain same. On the next line I will paste my code, and let's modify this to JB7, right? Now here 365 plus 70 will give you the value 435. Here I am going to show you an example of slider. So use slider, JSlider class. This helps to show slider. So let's write that. This will help to show slider. Okay, rest all will remain same. Let's move on. Paste the code. Here you can modify to JB8. Now Y position will change. So 435 plus 70, how much will be that? 505. Okay, and in this button I'm going to show you an example how to display an image. Okay, how to display a picture. So display an image in this. Okay, that's my JB8. Let's move on. Paste the code. Change this to JB9, right? And then you have to add 70 to this. So how much will be that? 575. In this button I'm going to show you an example of tooltip. Show an example of tooltip. Okay, great. Let's keep moving. Let's keep writing more code. Now my next button will be JB10. So modify this to JB10. JB10. Okay, then you have to add 70 to the previous Y value, and how much will be that? 645, right? So 645. In this I'm going to show you an example of Jpanel. What is Jpanel? So I will show you how to create Jpanel. So this shows this helps to show Jpanel or panel. Okay, great. Let's move on to the last button. What is my last button? JB11. So let's do that over here. JB11. Okay, now what am I going to show you in in this button? I will show you how to use JTree class. JTree class. Okay, or yeah, JTree class. Okay, great. So this helps to show tree like structure. tree like structure. Okay, great. And we have to add 70 to this, so that will become 715. So let's modify this to 715, right? Okay, great. So I have initialized all my button. Now is the time to add. So I will copy this code now and paste it. 1 2, okay, 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Okay, then you have to modify this to JB 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Hey, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. One more. So let's paste, and here JB11. So all my buttons are added to JFrame, right? Let's run and see the output. We must see all my buttons on the JFrame. Look at that. Okay, these are all my buttons here, right? JLabel, I'm going to show you an example of each of them. Okay, JLabel. So but when I'm clicking this button, nothing is happening. Okay, because we have to use a listener interface. So I will just revise what is listener interface. So in the previous class we have discussed about action listener. Okay, action, what is action listener? It's an interface. Okay, it's an interface which has only one method. What is that? Can you tell me? It has one method, which is action performed. Okay, which takes action event class object, event AE. Okay, if you remember, I had shown you this. I can show you again. Let me see. So here I want to display Java doc file, Java document doc8. So I will just open that, click here, or maybe this one, I think. Okay, just wait a minute. So here you can click on no frames, and it will open the document file for us. Click on frames. Yeah, click frames. Okay, now here I have my Java 8 document, and I want to show you about the listener interface again, because this is important and it belongs to java.awt.event package. Click on this and you will see many interface over here. We are interested in action listener. Click on this and you will see some information about it. Interface, it's an interface. Okay, here in this interface there is only one method. What is method? Method means function, fangfa in Chinese. Okay, and it has got only one method, which is action performed. So any class who's using this interface must provide body to this function. Am I clear with this part? Right, I hope so. I'm clear with this. Let's move on and let's continue with our program. So I will just minimize this, close this here. Okay, it's a time to implement the interface. So implements action listener. I want to use this interface. And how to use interface? We have to use this word called implements. Okay, but it's giving me error. Why? Because this interface has one function, which is action performed, and we have not written that function. So there are two ways you can write the function by yourself, or you can take your mouse here and here and oh, and you can click on implement method. Just click on this. It will ask you to add this function action performed. Click yes, okay, and you will see that it has overridden this function action performed. I'm going to put it before main function. It makes me feel comfortable. Okay, great. Now we have got the listener who's listening for the event, that is click event. He will keep listening. If the event occurs, this listener will pass the message to handler. Whose handler? He is the handler because he will handle the click event. Okay, so what we have to do now we have to register our all button to a listener. Okay, how to do that? To do this, we can do it like this. Come here, write down jb1 dot add action listener, and you have to pass this keyword. Not like that, this. Okay, now you can ask me question, Akash, why this over here? The answer is because your this class is using this interface, so we have to give the object of this class. And how do you access the object of the current class? By using this word called this. So this means the current class object. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this line and do it for every button. Okay, so paste over here, but then don't forget to change to JB2 here. Put it over here, change it to JB3, put it here, change it to JB4, put JB5, put here, put JB6, JB7. We have to keep doing like this, okay, for all the buttons. So JB8, JB9, here we can use JB10, and finally the last one is JB11. That's it. Great. Okay, now you have registered your button to this listener. Now is the time to write the code here in this function. Okay, you need to find out which button has been clicked. So how can you find out that? By using object source is equal to this event e variable. You have to say e dot get source. Okay, so get source is a function which will give you which button has been clicked, and it will be stored in this variable source. Now you have to check if my source is equal to JB1, then what do you want to do? You can write down your code here. Okay, now so if my first button is clicked, what I want to do, let me see, first button, yeah, I want to display a label, right? JLabel. So let's do that, and let's write down the code here. So if my first button is clicked, I'm going to display one frame, so J frame, and I will say JF2 is equal to new J frame, and you can say login frame. Okay, you can give any name here. You can say welcome frame. Okay, after that you have to use a class called JLabel. Okay, you can choose any variable name like JL1 is equal to new JLabel. Okay, and you can give a text I am label. Okay, put semicolon here. Then you have to find out the location where you want to add. So you can say JL1 dot, how to find out the location? By using a function called set bounds. So set bounds, you have to give the location x, okay, 30, y 10, width, what should be the width of my label? 80, and what should be the height of my label? Let's say 60. Okay, then what next? The next step is you have to add this label to the JFrame. So what is my JFrame? JF2 dot add. What do you want to add? You want to add this JL1 here. So put it over here. Next step, JF2 dot set layout to null. Okay. Then what next step? JF2 dot set size. You have to set the size of your JFrame. Let's take it as 200 by 200. Okay, the next step is you have to set the color of JFrame. For color of JFrame, you have to use a paper. So you can get that by using this function called get content pane dot. Okay, what you have to do now, set background, and then you can choose color dot orange, whatever color you want. And finally, the last step is jf2 dot set visible. What you have to do now, set visible to true. Okay, so that's it. Let's right click and let's check our program, stop and run. So if I click my first button, okay, first button JB1, look at that, I get, I am label. So this is an example of label. What is label? What is JLabel? It's just a text which you want to display on the frame. Am I clear with this part, right? I hope so. This is clear. Let's move on and let's write down the code for a second button to show a radio button. Okay, so I'm going to close this and come here, write down the next code. If source is equal to JB2, then what you want to do here, you can start writing the code. The first thing you have to do is you have to use a frame here. So let's write that JFrame. Okay, JFrame JF2 is equal to new JFrame, and you can also give some text here, J radio button example. You can use any text, it's just a text. Okay, what next? The next step is we have to create our radio button. Okay, let me pull it here a little bit. Yeah, so I'm going to put a comment, create J radio button here, radio button. How to do that? There is a class called JRadio button. You can see that class over here. It is coming from javax.swing package. So use that JRadio button. You can give some name like JRB underscore mail is equal to new JRadio button, and then you can give some text like mail. Okay, on the next line you have to set the bound. Where do you want to display this text? You need to set the bound for it. So how to set the bound? You can use jrbmail dot set bounds. Okay, set bounds, and then you can decide the location. My x position will be 30 comma, my y position will be 10 comma, what should be the width? Let's choose 80 comma, what should be the height of my radio button? Let's choose 60. Okay, then what next? We need to set the background color of my radio button. So you can choose jrbmail dot set background color, and you can choose some color, let's say color dot orange. What next you have to do now? The next step you have to do is you need to create another radio button. So I'm going to say J radio button, and this time I will say JRB underscore female. Okay, JRB underscore female is equal to new J radio button. You can give a text over here as female, put semicolon here, and do the same thing, JRB female dot set bounds. Where do you want to display? So my x position will change in this. So 120 comma, the y position will remain same 10 comma, the width will remain same 80, and the height will remain same 60. Okay, then you can set the background color. Oh, sorry, not this one. Set background color, set background, and you are going to choose the same color dot orange. Okay, I hope this is clear to you all. Now is the time to add. Here I'm going to write add J radio button to JFrame, right? How to add? What is my JFrame? Tell me. JF2 dot add. What do you want to add now? You want to add, first you can add male, put semicolon, and then JF2 dot, then you can add JRB female. You can add this. Okay, after this you have to set the layout. So let's do that. So JF2 dot set layout. Okay, and you are going to set to null. What next? Next is JF2 dot set size. What should be the size of my JFrame? Let's say the size will be 400 or 400 comma 300. It is up to you. You can decide the size of your frame. Then we can also set the background color. So JF2 dot get content pane dot get content pane dot set background color and color dot orange. Okay, then you have to make it visible. So JF2 dot set visible to true. Okay, great. Save this file, run this, and check out your output. Stop and run. So let's click on this radio button, this button. So that's my radio button here. You can see male and female. Hey, there is a problem. I can choose both. Yes or no? Male, female, both. So this is wrong. So how to solve this problem? So that the user can select only one out of this. To solve this problem, you need to use another class called button group. Let me show you how to solve this problem. So here I'm going to put a comment, add the radio button to a group. How to create a group? There is a class called button group. Can you see this? Button group. Okay, you need to remember this. It is coming from Java x.swing package. So button group, you can give some name to this. BG is equal to new button group. You just have to create object of this class. Then what next you have to do? You have to use this object and add your buttons. Okay, so which radio button you want to add? JRB male, BG dot add JRB female. So you are adding both this male and female, male and female into one group, BG group. Okay, if I run this program now, you will see that the user can select only one option out of it. So male, female, look at that. I can select only one. Do you understand this? Yes or no? I hope so. Yes. So let's continue with this part, next part. So this is radio button. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to create a checkbox. Okay, so let's see how to create checkbox. So come here, put a comment here, checkbox. To create a checkbox, you have to use a class called JCheckbox. Can you see that? JCheckbox, and then you can give a name, city1 equal to new JCheckbox, and you can also give the text, let's say Chenzhao. Okay, Zhengzhao, yeah. So that's fine here. That is my first checkbox. Then we have to create the second checkbox. Let's say city2 is equal to new J checkbox. Okay, and here you are going to say you can give some another city name, let's say Mumbai. Okay, put semicolon. On the next line you have to set the bounds, okay, and set the color. So how to set the bound and the color? First you can set the bound for city1. So city1 dot set bound, that means where do you want to display. So I want to display my x position is 30 comma, my y position is 80 comma, the width should be 80 and the height should be 60. Okay, then you have to set the background color. So city1 dot set background color. Okay, and you can choose color dot orange or whatever color you want to do. Same thing you have to do for city2 dot set bounds. Okay, you need to decide the location. My x position will change now, so 120 comma, my y position will remain the same, that is 80 comma, and my height is going to remain same 80, and my width will remain same and the height will remain same. Okay, then you have to set the background color. So city2 dot set background color, and here you can choose color dot orange. Okay, what next you have to do? The next you have to add the checkbox to JFrame. How to do that? jf2 dot add. Okay, you have to add city1, put semicolon, then you have to say jf2 dot add city2. Okay, put semicolon. That's it over here. That's all. Let's right click run to check out the output for checkbox. Checkbox means you can select both. Now here is my radio button. I can select only one. Here I have checkbox and I can select one or I can select both. Okay, this is how it works. I hope you have understood this. Let's move on and check out the next information is combo box. How to create combo box. Okay, so put a comment here, JComboBox. How to create it? It's very simple. First I need to create a string array. Now you know what is array, right? So string, what will be the array name? Country. Country is equal to new string. Okay, new string, and the size I'm going to give is 5. Put semicolon. Okay, then you have to add your value. Country 0 is equal to, I want to add India here. Put semicolon. Country 1 is equal to, let's put China. Country, this is array, please pay attention to that. Okay, the next step is country 2. I will add some more country here, Australia. Put semicolon. Next is country number 3, and here I'm going to add England. Or you can choose any other country. Okay, it is up to you. Japan. Okay, the next country I'm going to add is country, and here it is 4, and you can add New Zealand. New Zealand. Okay, so this is the fifth information. Okay, I hope you have understood this. Let's move on. So the size of my string is 5, so it starts from 0 to 4. Now on the next line you have to use a class called JComboBox. Can you see that? It's a class coming from which package? Tell me. It is coming from javax.swing package. So you can give a name, countries equal to new JComboBox. Okay, JComboBox, and you have to give the array. What is that array? Country. This array you have to pass in the constructor of JComboBox. Am I clear with this? I hope so. Put semicolon. Now all these classes are coming from javax.swing package. So here click on javax.swing package and you will see all the classes over here under class. So I'm using JComboBox. So let me show you JComboBox here. Click on this and you will see more information about JComboBox here. As you can see here, Scroll down. These are the fields. Okay, and um, this is nested class fields constructor. Yeah, here you can see the constructors of this class JComboBox. There are 4 constructors. Now look at I'm not using this constructor. Okay, I'm using this constructor. It creates a JComboBox that contains the element specified array. So I'm using this constructor. Look at my code here. So JComboBox country is equal to new JComboBox, and which constructor I'm using, I'm calling this constructor, okay, where I'm passing the array of, this is my array. Are you understanding? So I can create combo box by using any of these constructor. This is the easiest way to create combo box. So I'm using this constructor. What next? The next is you need to find out the location where you want to display. So set bounds, you have to tell the x position is 30, y position is 150, then you have to tell the width 140 and the height, let's say 30. Okay. On the next line you have to use confuse dot set background color. You can choose color dot orange. Okay, and then you have to add it to your frame. So jf2 dot add, what do you want to add? Countries. Okay, you want to add this combo box, so put that over here and add it to your frame. Put semicolon here and run this code to check the output. Right click, run, stop and run, and let's click on the second button. Look at that. Okay, here this is my radio button, this is my checkbox, and this is my combo box, right? I hope you have understood this. This is one example where I'm displaying the radio button, checkbox, and combo box. Let's move on to the next button, which is JTextArea class. So I will just close this and I'm going to write down. So this is for if my source is JB2. This was for if my source is JB1. So now we have to write down the code for JB3. So come down, write down if JB3 is equal to, if my source is equal to JB3, then what do I want to do? First of all, I want to have a label, frame. So I will just create that jframe. JF2 is equal to new jframe. Okay, and then you can give some title, JTextField example. You can give any title you want. Next is create a JLabel. Okay, how to create JLabel? Now you know, right? So JLabel, and you can give CNAME. CNAME means customer name equal to new JLabel, and you can give some text over here like customer name. Okay, so that's my label here. Put semicolon. Next line you have to set the location where you want to display this label. So 30 is my x, 10 is my y position. What should be the width? 120. What should be the height? Let's choose 30. Okay, next we need to set the background color of my label. So c_name dot set background, and you can choose some color over here. Let's say color dot orange. Okay, next on the next line we have to create a JTextField. Okay, how to create JTextField? There is a class called JTextField. You can see this. You can give a name to this as JFT1 or JT1, whatever you want, is equal to new JTextField, and put semicolon over here. Then you have to do some settings like JT1 dot set bounds. Where do you want to display this? You have to decide that. So I want to display x position 150, comma, y position will remain same, comma, the width will remain, I'm choosing 180, comma, and the height I'm choosing for my text field is 30. Okay, then we have to set the background color. So JT1 dot set background, and here you can choose color dot orange. Next line, JT1 dot set font. Okay, dot set font. Now I need to decide the font here. Now can I use that font which I have created above here at the top? See this font. Can I use this F? I can't. Can I use this F outside of this constructor? No, I can't. So what I'm going to do is I will make it global. Okay, make it global, and to make it global you have to put it at the top. Now it became global. Now you can use this F1, yes or no? So scroll down, and here you can say jt1.setFont. What type of font? F1. Okay, so this will help you to create a text field. Next is I want to display a password field. So JPasswordField. Okay, now how to display JPasswordField? There is a class called JPassword, but before that you have to create a label, JLabel. Okay, and what will be the label name? It will be C underscore. Here you can, 1 minute. Yeah, here you can give C underscore password is equal to new JLabel. Okay, you can give a text to this as customer password, put semicolon. Okay, put semicolon here. Now you have to do some settings like jpassword dot set bounds. Where do you want to display this? I want to display at the location x30, y30. What should be the width? 120. And what should be the height of this? Should be 30. Okay, that should be the height of it. Great. What next? We can set the password for it. So we can set the background color. So C underscore password dot set background color. You can choose color dot orange. Okay, now you have to create. Here I am going to say JLabel again. Then we have to create the JPassword field. How to create JPassword field? There is a class called JPassword. Okay, so JPasswordField, you can see that, and you can give some name to this. JPF is equal to new JPasswordField. Okay, and then you have to set the bound for it. So JPF dot set bounds. What will be the bound? Okay, that's important thing. You have to decide the location of this password field. So my X position will be 150, comma, Y positions should be 80, comma, the width should be 180, comma, and the height should be 30. Okay. Next is you need to set the background color. So JPF dot set background. Okay, what should be the color of it? Color dot orange. Come out of it. Then you have to set the font color. So JPF dot, there is a function called set font, and what font will give? F1, which I have created at the top, which is a global variable. Yes or no? Also there is a function called JPF, that is JPasswordField. There is a function called set echo char. Okay, here I'm going to use star. That means when the user will enter something, it will be it's a character, not a string, so you have to use single quote. Okay, I hope you have understood this. Now is the time to add all this to the frame. So let's add it. Add all the components to JFrame. Okay, what is the name of my JFrame? JF2 dot add. The first thing I have to add is CNAME. Okay, you need to add in sequence. Okay, after this I want to add JF2 dot add. I want to add my text field. So JT1. Okay, put semicolon here. Then I have to add my JPassword. So jf2 dot add what is that, label C password. Okay, put semicolon here. Then jf2 dot add, I have to add JPF, that is JPasswordField, this one, right? Put semicolon over here. After this you have to say jf2 dot set layout. Okay, set dot, oh, it's jf2 dot set layout. What you have to do, null. Okay, now you should be knowing about it. Then we have to set the size of it. So set size, what should be the size? 400. How about 400 comma 400 x width and height. Then we have to set the background color. So jf2 dot, set background. You can choose the background color, but we need a paper, right? So we have to say dot get content pane dot set background. Here you can say color dot what, orange. Okay, then you have to make it visible. So jf2 dot set visible to true. Okay, great. Let's run and see if it is working. So right click, stop and run. So that's my next button. Click on this and there is something wrong. So customer name is coming here and the password is remaining above. I think we need to change the location of this label. This is my password. You can see that is working fine. So there is something wrong with my password. How about changing this to 100 and 150. So here I think we need to change the Y position to 80. Let's right click and run to check if it is working the way I want. Let's click on the third one. Yes, now it is perfect. You can see here I can enter my name Akash and I can enter my password, some password here. Yes or no? So that's, I have created a login frame for you. In this example you can learn about label, text field, how to set the background color, how to set the font, how to set JField password, how to set the echo care. All these things you can learn from this example. Now I'm going to show you the example of TextArea. Okay, so let's talk about it. We need to add one more class. Okay, so let's come here and after JPasswordField, after this line, put a comment here and say JTextArea. Okay, now it's a very straightforward. There is a class called JTextArea. Okay, so JTextArea, JTA is equal to new JTextArea, and you can give some name here, some initial value, welcome. After this, JTA dot set bound, where do you want to display? That's important. So 30 is my X position, 150 is my Y position, 320 is the width, and 230 is the height of my text area. And then we have to set the background color. So JTA dot set background. Okay, and here you can choose color dot. Let's choose some another color. How about sign? Yeah, let's choose this one. After creating your text area, we have to add it to the JFrame. So come here and say jf2 dot add what you want to add, JTA. So add that over here, put semicolon. Save it, run it, and check the output. Stop and run. So JTextArea, look at that, very nice. So that's my now what is text area? You can write multiple lines. See, this is text area. Do you understand? I hope you have understood. Okay, so that's all about text area. Now we are going to the next class, which is JOptionPane class. So let's close this, and first I'm going to show you in the document JOption option ALMNOP here. J option pane, right? Click on this. Okay, now this is a class, and you can see these are all parent class, or you can say super class of this class. And there is three important function in this class. One is show internal message dialog, show confirm dialog, okay, and so on. So I'm going to show you some of the functions of this. Okay, so let me show you the example. So I want to use this class J option pane when I click my fourth button. So what I have to do now, I need to check for the fourth button. So come outside of this and write if my source is equal to what? Tell me, JB. We have done for 3, I think. Yes, now it's time for JB4. So open and close and start writing your code. So the first example I'm going to show you is the example of show message dialog function. Show message dialog function. Okay, so how are you going to do this? First you need to create the JFrame. So JFrame JF2 is equal to new JFrame, new JFrame, and you can set title example of, you can see example of J option pane, J option pane. Okay, put semicolon here. Now I'm going to use one string name, string name is equal to J option pane. Okay, I'm using this class, pay attention to this, J option pane dot. Now you can use, there are many functions you can see here. I want to use show input dialog. Now this function takes two parameter. You want to show this dialog for which frame? That is for this frame. Okay, so the first parameter is the object of this frame, which is JF2. So right here JF2 comma, the next is the message which you want to display. So right here enter your name. Okay, I hope you are understanding this. Put semicolon. Okay, now if you want, you can run this code to check out the output. So let me run it. So JTextArea is done. J option pane, click on this. Now look at that, I'm getting my J option pane dot show input dialog. It's an input dialog, but it is getting displayed for which frame? For JF2. Okay, so this is important parameter. And what is the text? Enter your name. Can you see that? Enter your name. You can enter your name, Akash, and then you can say click OK, like this. Okay, I hope you are understanding. And so whatever you will enter here will be stored in this variable, and then you want to display, right? So you can use J option pane again dot show message dialog. There is another function, it's a static function, show message dialog. This is show input dialog. It's a static function. I have explained you in the theory what is the difference between static function and the other function. Static functions are the functions which can be called directly with the class name, right? I don't have to create the object of this class. I can directly call this function with the class name. Now what I want to do, first I need to tell for which frame I want to display this dialog. So JF2, and then what do you want to display? You can say here welcome, and then what do you want to display? You can just pass that variable name, this variable. Okay, that's it. That's all, my dear student. Let's run and let's check out the code, the output of this code. So let's click on this. That's my first J input dialog. Let's enter Akash. Let's hit OK. Now look at that. This is a message dialog, show message dialog. Okay, and it is displaying welcome, and it is displaying the value of name Akash. Can you see that? Right. And finally, we are moving to the last type of dialog box, which is a confirm dialog. So here I need to use int a answer is equal to j option pane dot show confirm dialog. Okay, for which frame do you want to display? JF2 comma, and then you can put your message, do you want to continue? Do you want to continue? You are asking a question to the user. Okay, put semicolon. Now on the next line you have to write the like if my answer is equal to j option pane, okay, dot, there is a static variable called yes option. If the user selects yes, then what do you want to do? You want to display show j option dot show message dialog for jf2 comma, okay, and then you can display something, you have selected yes, you have selected yes. On the next line you can write down if ans is equal to j option pane dot no option. That means user selects no option. Then what do you want to display? You can use j option pane dot show message dialog for whom? For jf2, that is your second frame, and then you can display some message. You have selected you have selected what? No. Okay, that's it. Let's run the program and let's check out the code. I hope you have understood this. Here we are using frame and we are learning three important functions: show input dialog, show message dialog, show confirm dialog. Now these functions are coming from this class and all these functions are static. Right click, run and see the output. So j option pane, that's my first Akash. Okay, this is show message dialog. And do you want to continue? Now this is something called as confirm dialog. Do you want to continue? You have got three buttons: yes, no and cancel. I have written the code for yes and no. So if I click no, see, you have selected no. If you want to check again, let's click on this. I have to enter again Akash. Okay, let's click. Okay, now if I click yes, you have selected yes. Do you understand? This is how it works. Our next topic is JTable. So let's see the example of how to create JTable. So this is your fifth button. So I have to write the code for fifth button. Okay, so let's hit enter. If source is equal to JB what? 5. If you select fifth button, then you want to create a tree, right? Sorry, a table. Let me check. It's table, right? I hope yes. JB5, yeah. So JB5 is a table. Now I will teach you how to create JTable in this. So scroll down and let's write down the code for it. So the steps are same. First you need to create the JFrame. So JFrame JF2 is equal to new JFrame. You can say student details frame. Put semicolon over here. Now to do this program, you have to create an array of two-dimensional. Okay, now I have taught you what is two-dimensional array. Please go back to the previous video and check out what is two-dimensional array. Okay, and do the revision of it. So here I'm going to give a name to this as data is equal to, open and close this bracket here, and then inside this I need to add many data. Okay, so the first one is the student ID, so 001, comma, the second is the name of the student Akash, comma, and the third one is the city is coming from Mumbai. Okay, now copy this code because you have to add more record in this. It's a two-dimensional array. So this is 02, 1 minute, 03, 04, and this is 05. You can add one more, 06, and delete the last. From the last you should remove the comma. Okay, and change this to 06. Now you can modify some name over here. Sam from Shanghai. Okay, the next one is from Zhengzhou. Okay, who's from Zhengzhou? Let's give a name, title. The next is Kobe. From where? From Henan, or maybe Zhengzhou. Okay, the next one is Amit from Delhi. The next one is Aradhya from Mumbai. Okay, so that's my two-dimensional array. That means there is row and column. What is my row? This is my row. What is my column? This is my column. 1 column, 2 column, and 3 column. Okay, so this is two-dimensional array I have created. On the next line, you need to create one more array. So string, this time you can choose columns. Okay, is equal to, and then you can decide the name of the column as ID, comma, the name, comma, the next column is city. Okay, put semicolon. Now is the time to create the table. Okay, create the table, create the JTable. Now this JTable class is coming from here. I will show you first. JTable, where is that? PQRST here, JTable. Okay, now this is JTable. If you scroll down, there are some nested class here. These are some of the fields which you can use for JTable. Okay, and let's scroll down. Here is the constructor. You can see constructors. So I'm going to choose a constructor which takes array. So I think data name, this is my data and this is my column. So two parameter, one is the data and one is column. Okay, so I'm going to choose this one. So let's come here and use it, JTable. Okay, JTable, and then you can give here JT1 is equal to new JTable, and then when you are creating, first you need to pass data, comma, okay, this is my data, you can see here, this is my data, comma, what should be the column? You have to pass the second parameter here, column. I hope you are understanding. So I'm using this constructor. Which constructor? This constructor. Okay, here. That's it. Okay, now what you have to do is you have to set the bound. So JT1 dot set bounds. Set bound means the location where you want to display 30, comma, what should be the Y position, let's say 40, comma, what should be the width 250, and what should be the height 150. Then you have to set the background color. So JT1 dot set a background. Okay, and you can choose color dot orange. Okay, then you have to add this table to another class. Okay, you must add this table to another class called JScrollPan. This is very important. If I run this, okay, if I run this program, it will not work. Okay, let me do one thing for you. let's add this table to our JFrame, okay, and show you the output. So what is my JFrame? JF2, sorry, JF2 dot add. What do you want to add? JT1. Okay, that's my table. Then after this, set the layout. So JF2 dot set layout. What will be the layout? You can decide the layout. Let's choose here null at this moment. Next line, set the size. So JF2 dot set size. What should be the size of this? 450 comma height should be also 450. Then we can set the color. So JF2 dot set background color. Color dot orange. Then we have to make it visible. So dot set visible to true. Okay, let's run and see if I can display my table directly. Stop and run. So JTable. Yes, I can. You can see this. My table is over here, but my data is also can be seen. You can see that. Yes or no? But my column is not coming here. I can't see the column names. Okay, so to display the column name, we need to use another class called JScrollPane. Okay, I'm going to add that class over here, JScrollPane. So what you have to do, you can use another class called JScrollPane. Okay, you have to remember this. SP is equal to new JScrollPane. Okay, and you have to add your table in this scroll pane. Okay, please pay attention. I'm adding my JTable to the scroll pane, and then you have to set the bound of your SP. So SP dot set bounds. What will be the location of it? 30, 40, 250 and 150. Okay, so let's do that. 30, 40, 250 comma 150. Okay, now you don't have to add JT1 to the frame. You have to add SP. Why? Because you added your JTable to SP, and now you have to add your SP to the frame. Let's right click and run the program to see the output of this code. Now look at that. This is perfect. Look at that. I'm getting my column names here, ID, name and city, and then all my data here. I can choose this data. Okay, I hope you have understood this, but there is something wrong here. I cannot see the color of my frame. What's wrong? Yes, I got it. We need to use something called get content pane. Yes or no? Right click, run it again to see if everything is fine. Yes, now it's perfect. Okay, that's great. Also, you can set the background color for your scroll pane. Now what is scroll pane? That's a big question. Yes or no? You need to ask me this question. The scroll pane is something this one. Let me show you. I'm just going to show you. The scroll pane will appear here. Can you see this here? So this is something called a scroll pane. Do you understand? So what I'm doing, I'm adding my table to the scroll pane. Okay, and then I'm adding my scroll pane to my JFrame. I hope you have understood this code. Okay, this is all about JTable. It will help you to do some interesting project in the future, in the coming weeks. So please practice about it. Here I have taken this data, but in the future you need to display the data from the database in the table. Okay, let's move on to the next button, which is what is that? J6, and the class name is JColorChooser. So let's scroll down and let's write down the code for JColorChooser. So come out of this and write if my source is equal to JB6. Okay, JB6. So what are you going to do in JB6? You will display a color chooser. First you have to create your JFrame. So JF2 equal to new JFrame, and you can give the title. This will display color chooser. Okay, go to the next line, and on the next line you can set some background color of your frame. So jf2 dot set layout to null. Okay, great. Then you have to say jf2 dot set size 450 comma 450. Good. Then you have to set the visible to true. So jf2 dot set visible to true. Good. Then you have to create the color chooser. So you need to use this class color. Color class is coming from which package? It is coming from java.awt package. So choose this class color, and then you can use new underscore, it's a variable name, new color is equal to, now you have to use your class called JColorChooser. Can you see that class? It's a class. It's coming from where? Let me show you this. ABC CCC. So where is that? Here. Can you see this class here? JColorChooser. It is coming from Java X.Swing package. You can see this Java X.Swing package, and this has some constructor. You can see this constructor. You can choose the second constructor with some initial value. Okay, so I am going to use, you can use this, or you can use, there is a function called, show dialog. So let me show you this show dialog. You can see this show dialog function. So you can use this function. Okay, so let's write that. So, and this function is a static. It's a static function. And what is the return type of this function? It will return a color for you, right? I hope you have understood this function. I'm going to use this function. Now this is a static function, so I can use it directly with the class name. So JColorChooser dot show dialog. Now you need to tell for whom you want to show this dialog. That is JF2. And then you can set some title. Select your color. Okay, and you can also give the initial color. So color dot red. Okay, this is the initial color. So you know what will happen with this line? It will display a color chooser. You can select one color, it will put that color into this one, and now you want to change the color of your frame, JFrame. So on the next line you can say jf2 dot get content pane dot set background, and then you can set the background with this new color which you have selected, right? That's all for this button. Let's right click and run the code. Stop and run. So JColorChooser, click on this. Look at that, my color chooser is coming up. Now I'm going to select yellow, some color over here. Click. Now look at that, it changes to that color. Why? Because JColorChooser.show dialog will show the dialog box. Okay, then you can choose any color. That color will store here in this variable, and then you are using this variable to set the background color of your JF2. I hope this code is clear to you. You can run it to see the program again. Stop and run. JColorChooser. This time I'm going to choose some dark color. Look at that. I hope you have understood this. I will move on to the next button. Our next button will help you to display a slider. Okay, so that is button number 7, JSlider class. So let's write the code for JSlider. So JSlider, if my source is equal to JB7. If it is the 7th button, we have to create the frame first. So JFrame JF2 equal to new JFrame, and you can put some text over here, display slider. Okay, put semicolon over here. Then you have to create the slider, create the J slider. Okay, how to create the J slider? There is a class called J slider, and it is coming from which package? javax.swing package. So use this J slider and write down slider is equal to new J slider. You just have to create object. Then you have to tell how do you want to display the slider. Okay, so you can tell that by using a static variable called JSlider dot how do you want to display horizontal, comma, what should be the minimum value 0, comma, what should be the maximum value 50, comma, okay, and what should be the middle value 25. Put semicolon over here. Okay, then next step we have to do is we need to use a Jpanel. It's a class Jpanel. So Jpanel, I will say P is equal to new Jpanel, and put semicolon over here. Then you have to add the slider to panel. So P dot add, what do you want to add? The slider. Okay, so I'm adding the slider to my panel P. I hope you are understanding this. After this, you need to add the Jpanel to the frame. So jf2 dot add P, add that panel to the JFrame. After this, you have to set the size of your JFrame. So jf2 dot set size. What should be the size? Let's say 650 comma 650. That is the size. Or maybe let's take a smaller one, 250 comma 250. Right, then you have to set the background color. So jf2 dot get content pane dot set background color dot orange. And finally the last step is make it visible. So jf2 dot set visible to true. Okay, that's it. Let's run this program and see the output of J slider. So click on, look at that here. So my minimum value is 0. Okay, this is 0. Maximum value is 50, and when I open it will be at 25 like this. But hey, I want to display the text over here, right? How can I display those text? So let me show you. There are some functions which you have to use. So slider dot set minor tick spacing 2. Minor tick spacing is 2. That means after every 2 point it will display a tick. Let me show you how. So wait, we need to set the paint ticks and paint label to true. So slider dot set paint ticks, you have to make it true. It's a function, okay, and you also have to set the label. So slider dot set paint label. There is a function called label. Set paint labels to true, make it true. Let's run and see now. I think it should work. Click on this. Hey, that's really you can see here it's displaying, and you can see after every 2 point so this is 0 and the next one is 2, the next one is 4, the next one is 6, but this is not good, right? What I will do is set minor tick. Okay, let's change the set major tick to 10 and slider dot set minor tick to 2. Let's run and see if it is everything is okay. So my minor tick will be 2 and the major tick will be 10. Yeah, now this is perfect here. So 0, then this is 10 here. So 0, the next one is 2, 4, 6, 8 and then 10. So it is displaying 10 over here, right? It is displaying, it is at 25 because that is the starting value, sorry, the middle value. Close and close. That's all about slider. I hope you have understood this. You need to understand this two functions over here. Okay, if you have any question about this function, you can ask me. Let's move on to the next button. The next one is to display a picture, a display image. Okay, let me show you what is my next button, button number 8. So this is about display an image. So scroll down and write down the code for button number 8. So come here. If my source is equal to JB8, then what I want to do, I want to display a picture. So for that I need a JFrame. So JFrame JF2 is equal to new JFrame. Okay, and you can give title display image, put semicolon over here. Then now there is a class called image icon. Now you need to remember this class, image icon. This class is coming from javax.swing package. Okay, so I will use this and I will say image icon I is equal to new image icon. I have to create the object and you have to give the path of your picture. Now I have one picture in my F drive. Here I have this picture. Can you see that? So what is the location of this file? F drive. So I will copy this and I will give that over here. Okay, what is the name of the file? Akash.jpg. Okay, that's all over here. On the next line you have to create one label. So JLabel L is equal to new JLabel. Okay, and you have to JLabel L equal to new JLabel and you have to put this I over here, put semicolon. Okay, next line you have to add your label to frame. So jf2 dot add, you have to add what? Label L. Okay, next line you can say jf2 dot set size. You can set the size as 700 comma 700. This is the size, and then you can make your frame visible. So true. That's it. Let's run and see if I can display a picture. Stop and run. So display image, and you can see that image is getting displayed over here, right? I hope you have understood this, and you need to remember this class called image icon, where you have to give the location of your file, the location of your picture. You have to put this picture inside a label constructor, JLabel, and then you have to pass your JLabel to your JFrame, and then you can make it true. That's all about picture. We are coming to the end of this program. Now we are moving to JB9. Okay, show an example of tooltip. So JB9, let's write the code for JB9. Okay, so scroll down, and here you can write if source is equal to JB9, then you can write down the code here. Now if it is JB9, then what do you want to do? You want to set the label, right? So what I will do is I will just scroll up and copy the code of your okay, so I will just copy the code from JB3. Copy this code, copy everything from this button. Okay, copy from here to here, copy this, and just go down and put it in JB9 code here like this. Okay, now what you have to do is you have to set the tooltip for this, right? So how to set the tooltip? You can use jt1.set tooltip text. There is a function funcfa called set tooltip text. Use this function and you can say here enter your name. That's it. Same thing you can do for jpf. Here you can say jpf dot set tooltip text, and you can write down enter your password. Okay, that's it. This program is done. Let's run and see the output of this code. Stop and run. Show example of tooltip. Okay, great. And now if you take the cursor here, look at that. It is telling me enter your name. Can you see that? Right, I cannot touch it. If you take your mouse here, it will say enter your password. You can see that. Now this is a tooltip. Do you understand? You can set a tooltip to with anyone. Okay, like for text area, JTA. What is that? JTA. Small JTA. JTA dot set tooltip text. You can write here. You can write some information about yourself. Okay, so this is a tooltip for text area. You can just check it. Stop and run. So show tooltip. Look at that. You can write some information about yourself. That's it. That's all about how to use tooltip example, right? Let's move on to the next button. Our next button is button number 10, right? Button number 10 is an example of Jpanel. How to use Jpanel and what is Jpanel? Let's take an example of button number 10, that is Jpanel. So scroll down, and here you have to check for button number 10. So if my source is equal to JB10, then you can write down the code here. So what will be the code for it if it is JB10? So I will just write for you. First you have to create the frame. So JFrame, okay, JF2 is equal to new JFrame, and you can say panel example, right? Put semicolon here. Then you have to create your panel. So Jpanel JP1 equal to new Jpanel, put semicolon. Then you have to set the size of your panel. So JP1, this is your Jpanel 1 dot set size. What should be the size of this? You can choose 200, 200. Then you can set the background color. So JP1 dot set background. What should be the background color? You can choose color dot red. Okay, color dot red. Then next you can set the location. So where do you want to display? So jp1 dot set bounds. Okay, the location where you want to display. So I want to display at the location 10, 10, comma, what should be the height? 200, comma, width should be 200. Width and height should be 200. This is my first panel. I hope you have understood this, right? Then in the same way, we have to create our second panel. So let's create the second panel. To create the second panel, I'm going to copy this code over here. Copy this code and put it below here. And you have to modify this variable to JP2 and all this variable to JP2, right? Set size 200 by 200. Color, here you can change the color to some another color. So let's say color dot blue. Okay, and Y position should be 300. Rest all will remain same. After this, you have to set the layout. So jf2 dot jf2, my Java frame, jframe, set layout to null. Okay, set it to null. Then you have to say jf2 dot add, you have to add your first panel jp1. Okay, same way you have to add jf2 dot add jp to your second panel, put semicolon. Then you have to set the size of your frame. So jf2 dot set size, what should be the size? Let's say 600 comma 600. Okay, then you have to set the background color. So jf2 dot set background, what color do you want? Color dot how about blue? Let's choose some another color, green. Okay, and finally make your Java frame to true. So set visible to true. So that's all about JFrame, JPanel. I hope you will understand what is JPanel from this example. So right click, stop and run. So let's click on JPanel. As you can see here, look at that. I have got two panels over here. Okay, but the color of my frame is not working. I forgot to use get content pane. Right click and run it. Okay, run. Now look at that. This is my panel. This is my JFrame, and I can divide my JFrame by using panel. Can you see that? This is how you can use panel. I hope you understood what is JPanel. Okay, so do this program clearly. Let's move on to the last button, and then this program will be done. Okay, now what is my last button? Button number 11. What is that? It is about JTree, how to display JTree structure. Okay, so let's check for J button 11. Scroll down. So let's write the code for if my source is equal to JB11, then you need to write some code over here. Let's see what code we have to do. First of all, you can create your JFrame. So jf2 is equal to new JFrame. Okay, and you can give title JTree example. Okay, good. After this, we have to create the tree by using some class called default mutable tree node. Now you need to pay attention to this. Okay, you can pay attention and try to understand how to create JTree. Okay, so there is a class called default mutable tree node. This is a class. It is coming from javax.swing package. I will show you here. Default mutable so this class is coming from javax.swing.tree here. javax.swing.tree. Click on this, and here you can see there is a class called default mutable tree node. Click on this. Okay, now you can see this class is coming from this package. You have to remember this, javax.swing.tree. We have to create object of this class in my program here. So let's write this program. Let's create the object. So default mutable tree node, I'm going to create first country equal to new, okay, default mutable tree node, and I will give the text as country. Do you understand? Please pay attention. I'm just creating object of this class. This class is coming from where? It is coming from javax.swing.tree package. So I'm just creating the object of it. Now I need I need uh, three information: country, India and China. So here I'm going to modify. I will say this is for India. I will change the text to India. Here I'm going to modify to China, and here I'm going to modify to China. Okay, then I want this India and China inside country. So I will say country dot add India. Okay, again country dot add China. I hope you are understanding. So India and China will be added to country. The next is I need some city. So again, default mutable tree node. You can use here. First is for let's take some city for India. So in India we have Delhi. So Delhi is equal to new default mutable tree node, and you can give a text here Delhi. Okay, put semicolon. Uh, you can copy this code, paste it below here, modify this to Mumbai. Okay, and here you can change this to Mumbai. Okay, then you have to paste again, and here you can modify to Shanghai. Here you can modify to Shanghai. Okay, then paste again. Here you can modify to Beijing, and here you can modify to Beijing. Okay, now you need to decide where do you want to add them. First, Delhi and Mumbai, I want to add it in India. So India is a tree node, and in this tree node I want to add Delhi. Okay, Delhi. Good. Keep adding. India dot add Mumbai. Keep adding. Now I want to add to China. China dot add what I want to add Shanghai. Okay, then I want to add China. China dot add what I want to add now Beijing. Hey, Beijing. Okay, that's it. That's all. Now we have to create the object of JTree. Create the object of JTree class. Now JTree class is coming from Java x.swing package. JTree, you can see that JTree is coming from Java x.swing package. So use this JTree, and you can give some name to this. JT is equal to new JTree. Okay, and you have to tell what you want to add. You will add this country. Country is holding India and China. India is holding Delhi and Mumbai. China is holding Shanghai and Beijing. So you will add this country to your JT over here. That's it. Now you have to set the background color of your JTree. You can use JT dot set background color dot. You can choose some color over here. Let's choose red color. Let's choose green color. Okay, then we have to add this JT to JFrame. So jf2 dot add JT. Okay, put semicolon. Then you have to set the size of it. So jf2 dot, you have to set the size of your frame, JFrame. So what should be the size? Let's take it as 400 comma 400. Okay, and finally the last step is jf2 dot get content pane dot set background color dot, or you can choose some color red. Okay, that's it. And finally make it visible. jf2 dot set visible to true. That's all. Let's run this program and let's check out the output of this code. Okay, so I will just delete these spaces. Yeah, let's run. Stop and run. click on this, and you will see that so country is the top tree node, which is holding India and China. If I click on India, it is holding Delhi and Mumbai. If I click on China, it is holding Shanghai and Beijing. Okay, so this is an example of JTree. I hope you have understood this. Now we have done so many different uh, what we say component. Like first we saw an example of JLabel, right? Then we saw an example of radio button, as you can see in this example, radio button, checkbox, then combo box. This is combo box. Okay, then we saw an example of text area where I showed you how to create login page like Akash, and here you can enter some password and so on. Then I show you how to use J option pane with three function: show message dialog, okay, sorry, show input dialog, show message dialog, and show confirm dialog. This is my confirm dialog, right? So that is about J option pane. Then I show you JTree. Okay, this is the example of JTree. Then I showed you the example of J color chooser. You can choose the color and that color will be set over here, right? Then I showed you the example of slider. This is an example of slider. I will just put it over here for you. Okay, then I showed you example of display image. So you can display some picture. Please pay attention to this. Okay, you need to learn how to display picture. Then I displayed you how to display a tooltip. Like as you can see, it is displaying the tooltip. I will just put it over here. So this is an example showing the tooltip like this, right? Then I displayed you, showed you an example of panel, how to display a panel. So I will just make a little space for my panel example. I will just put it over here. Yeah. Then finally the last thing I showed you is how to create JTree. So this is an example of JTree, which I'm going to put over here. Okay, so that's all, my dear student. This is one very interesting project and homework where you can learn about all the J component or GUI, graphical user interface component, and you have to be very good in these components. Okay, only if you are good in creating this component you can do some good Java project. Okay, I hope you enjoyed watching this session and doing this homework. See you in the next class with some more interesting topic. Goodbye.